Hello, everybody, and welcome to tonight's games. Two games coming up for you, as far as we know, here at Esea MDL. My name is Mitch. This is Dean somewhere, and he's going to be with me, taking you through the action. How you feeling today, Dean?
I'm feeling good. This is actually a matchup that I'm quite looking forward to. Ldlc and also the ex-Red Reserve lineup currently going under the name of Uruguay. Strange name, not too sure where they went with that. But on paper, these are two teams that do have a lot of individual skill, a good bit of experience, and kind of a mixture of those newer players as well. So I'm looking forward to seeing how they're going to do. And of course, we do have some record of these teams playing recently enough, and it was a relatively close game.
Absolutely. Look, Uruguay is an interesting name for a Swedish team, but nonetheless, let's look past it. Cash is a pretty good mid-ground, I think, for both of these teams. So as we move into things, we're going to see Uruguay starting out on the T side. This is something where I think Hampus usually has a great time here on the pistols. Let's see if he's able to do it again. As he splits in through Squeaky, they're going for that A control.
Yeah, very quick play towards A. That smoke should block off Matend from really being able to spot too much, but as they also push towards Fork, it does give a little bit of an opportunity now. Gets the second as well there on that USP to actually equalize in the 3v3. But eventually Fallen now does leave it onto Logan and XMS. They have a good chance here. The kit towards Forklift can be retrieved. And as you can see in the process of doing so, another frag being found. And I believe they know now to actually just one on default and the last towards Quad. Easy kills coming in, and there you have it. The opening pistol is found by Ldlc in the end, and it wasn't looking too great. They were happy enough to play mostly a retake setup, but when they did have that initial player go down, having that one towards Quad being so isolated, the fact that he stayed alive for so long was really a bit of a lifesaver for them.
Yeah, like I think that was a nice little retake for Ldlc. Logan doing a pretty good job coming in on the flank, managing to close off the angles there in that last 2 versus 2, and winning at the Angels. Not much more you can say about it. Pistols usually do just come down to who can win the most Angels. Usually the more fast-paced of rounds. Here's what we've seen from Uruguay before, though. A team that does like to go for force buys in round number 2. They've taken out 2 AK-47s and a Galil alongside some pistols with utility. And again, focusing over towards that A-bomb site with Hampus coming in through Squeaky. They're going to lock and load. Maybe not. Not quite a reload of strategy. Sending a player over boost. But it doesn't give them any better fortune as HS gets HS'd by a scout.
Yeah, the rifle should be retrievable if they're going to go back and try and actually boost one up to get it. Working that pick towards A on the Galil, though. Draken just about able to find that kill onto XMS. I don't think they want to commit immediately off the back of this, though, just because they don't know how many more players can be on this side of the map. They took a while, of course, to actually get all the players back in position. And interestingly enough, Grux with the bomb going to be the first one to take that peek. He goes down. The boost through vent for Matend going to work out for a quick flank. And as we can see, Ldlc now beginning to kind of just shut this one down. Low HP onto the 2 remaining players. Not really much of a chance for them to find anything. It's an easy cleanup there. Nice flash as well. Some good teamwork between those 2 players on the A-bomb site. And with the force buy not working out for Uruguay, they are just going to have to go ahead rather now and take that full eco. I wouldn't really expect too much to be upgraded. Maybe a couple pistols. Their real goal here, of course, just try and take a couple rifles out of hands of Ldlc, rather. And ideally get that bomb plant down so that they can just boost that follow and buy up a little bit more.
Yeah, a lot of the time you do see those force buys coming in round 2 from these guys. They do play a very aggressive T side economically. By and large, have a pretty successful rate when they only have pistols to play with. That's why they like the force buys, and already you're seeing exactly that come through. The pistol kills. 1 on the board, but Matend should have a relatively easy time holding down. He has support coming in from CT, the flashbangs coming through, and of course nobody has armor on that T side. So it's a very difficult round to really find anything of great impact. 1 kill, not really great. They will look for more, as of course there is still a scout in play on Twamu who can easily pick up AK, or not. But even still, it's not the worst in the world. Upgrades to the AWP just means 1 extra player is going to have to buy up one of those rifles. They're going for the double op setup as well, actually, very early on deploying that. I mean, I think it was Gobby said that this economy system is a race to the AWP, but Ldlc, they want to win it twice. They're very risky pulling that out early on, but it does give them the advantage. As you see, Uruguay, only 1 of those ops out. You don't really expect much more than that on the T side.
Yeah, it's a very expensive investment, but if you can make it work, then obviously it is worthwhile. And even if they do lose this round, they actually could still get a relatively decent buy, although it would be somewhat limited onto a couple of players. So they are definitely going to aim to try and continue on with this early lead that they're slowly building up. This is, of course, though, the first gun round. As you said, Draken now has that op available. What is the plan for Uruguay, at least initially in this round? Just holding a default, using their utility to kind of just pressure across the map. and run down that utility for the CT side as well. But actually, Grux, he just walks straight on to A, finds 3 quick headshots. I was going to say the first towards quad was a little bit surprising, but he just continued to go forward, full throttle. And with that, the A-bomb site rather suddenly has fallen under the control of the T side. And it doesn't look like it's going to go in any other direction anytime soon. It's only Logan who remains. And he's definitely just going to try and save that up. I wouldn't really advise Uruguay to try and actually hunt them down, in all honesty.
See, there's the downside of taking that double op setup. They're not listening to you, Dean. They're going in for the hunt. Only lose 1 player. That's not a bad trade-off. Considering Ldlc went for that double op setup, you see now their economy is in a pretty risky position. 2 players are going to have to go for the force buy. They actually take out a double op again. What was interesting about that round was, like you said, the first pick over towards quad. Sure, that's an interesting one. Not quite what you expect to see going down for Grux winning that Angel. But then you've still got a player on highway and a player on site, and somehow Grux is just able to go out and take those Angels. No supporting utility coming through. They know that he's coming out, but they don't win those Angels 3 times in a row, and that's going to cost you a round. Let's see if they can recover it, though. An opportunity on hand to reset Uruguay's economy. As they didn't lose a lot of players in the previous round, they will still be able to get a decent enough buy that they will almost certainly force if they lose this one. I don't know what that was. XMS.
Unlucky timing. He opened the door for the flash to come in from highway, and the second he opened the door, the flash hit his safe, but he was still able to find the kill while blinded. A little bit unfortunate. I think he did actually manage to spot him, of course, up close to the door before the flash went off as well. Oh, a little bit of damage from the molly onto Twanu. That actually does force him to fall back off, and now if they want, Uruguay can take that mid control, and you can see because of that, the CTs decide to get aggressive, trying to counteract that control, take over A main instead, and it didn't start off too well. And with trades coming back, Uruguay do manage to retain a man advantage for now. And so it looks like they will commit towards A. That leaves Twanu to try and actually hold this down. 2 different angles to try and hold it from as they come up through highway as well. Gets the first and spots the back of, I believe that is Grux pushing towards the car. Problem is, wasn't able to find the kill before he loses his teammate, and now safe sneaking through the smoke. Gets the final to go ahead and actually take that round win with a quad overall. And even retrieves the op. So that's a second for Uruguay. That, of course, does break the economy now of Ldlc and force them down onto an eco. So into this one, at least you'd expect them to probably just stick onto these default pistols, not really having too much money in the bank. Oh, that's a big investment from Ldlc. He's only getting $2,400 in the next round, so unless he finds 2 kills, then he's going to have a bit of a limited buy. Probably not much utility if he wants to get the rifle. Or that's really any.
It's interesting when you see that come out, because it's sort of questionable as to what level of impact he's really expecting to come out of here without armor and just a deagle. Sure, you have the insta-headshot abilities, but you know your opponents are going to have the armor. They're going to be playing a little bit more passive for the most part, as they know what they're coming up against, and trades will certainly be sought after on this T side as they push over towards bomb sites. HS is the one they're looking to trade. He's got a MAC-10, playing the more aggressive style, trying to get as many kills as he can. Only finds the 1, but they've claimed the bomb site on the back of it. Choked off the CTs in towards the CT spawn, and there's not a whole lot they can really do in the retake here. Ldlc has got that deagle and really wants to have some impact with it. Like you said, Dean, he needs to get some money here.
If he could steal a weapon, then obviously, of course, it would be worthwhile. Otherwise, he's likely going to be put down to something weaker in the next round, perhaps an SMG or maybe a FAMAS if he wants to go for that. There's 1 kill, though. He'll actually take down safe, but quick trades means it is still going to be 3 players surviving for Uruguay. A little bit, they didn't know what was going to happen. They have 3 at the end of their name, which is a little bit interesting. I guess Uruguay was probably just taken on Esea. Again, strange name for a Swedish team. I want to know where they came up with that one. But yeah, pause being called in already. This may be the tactical from Ldlc. I guess, I'm going to go ahead and out on a limb here and say that this is actually a technical since someone has disconnected. But I was going to say they could be discussing whether they actually want the buy or not, because it's not going to be a great investment. They'll be lacking in terms of the utility. If they want the op for Twanu, it is going to be glass cannon. So I wouldn't mind seeing them just going for some pistols and Kevlar here and just trying to make it a costly round, keep that economy low, although they haven't done so too successfully yet with Draken. Haven't built up a decent economy, although HS is still yet to reinvest.
So the player that disconnected was Madhand. He's like a little over 4K as well. So I imagine with a 3-3, I definitely would agree with you, Dean. I'd rather see them take some pistols, a little bit of armor, play things nice and slow, get your economy back on track. Considering they've had varying levels of impact across the rounds up against Uruguay, at least dealing some damage. If they take those pistols, find 2 to 3 kills, they don't find themselves in much worse of a situation in the next round, but then they'll be able to get the rifles out. forcing up here probably won't see any immediate reward for them. You can see in the Uruguay economy, even if they lose this round after HS reinvests, provided he doesn't take a second up, which I really don't think he will, you'll see the only player that's really going to struggle if they lose this round would be Safe, and he can easily be dropped over by Draken in the next round. So the buying up here puts you in a negative position in terms of hardware that you're coming into the round with, certainly in terms of utility as well. It will be a risky play, but I don't think it's necessarily completely out of the realm of possibility. We'll see what they want to go for in just a minute. It looks like they're agreeing and taking the pistols, at least Twanu is. The rest yet to buy. As Matt heads back in the server, we should be getting back into things just a couple of moments. Matt Head's actually been one of the more impactful players there on the CT side so far. Looking at 120 damage on average per round. Only the highest on the server that we see.
Yeah, he had so some decent rounds early on with that MP9, building up the initial kind of flow and money that they had come true for that, I guess, the double up setup, etc., that they brought out into the first gun round. But, of course, last 3 rounds now haven't gone in favor of Uruguay. As we said, we would prefer to see Ldlc kind of go for just this quasi-investment where they try and just get more damage done. Well, let's see what's going to go for them. They're taking a little bit of a gamble, actually. They had 3 towards B early on. They're going to push aggressive through B main, and I believe now just going to leave Logan to hold this down. And they're going to begin to rotate back around, which probably will be the correct decision. As we can see right now, Uruguay preparing for what seems to be a split towards that A bomb site.
Indeed, already coming up the highway, making sure no one can peek out of Z. Ldlc have some up-close positions. Got to be careful there. Madhead not able to capitalize on a kill. You've still got David Juvek in position, though, with the CZ. He's running out of ammunition, although a lot of damage has been done. Look at Safe. He's low. Logan's coming up behind. Doesn't catch him off with the right timing. Oh, he's actually got to in the end. Don't go for a knife. Don't do it, Logan. He's looking for a second player. He gets one. There's 2. Great play from Logan. Pulls himself back into the realm of possibility in terms of winning this. He's got an AK-47, bailing out a Squeaky. A good decision. I mean, that's not the kind of choke point you want to be peeking into after they already know you're there. And it looks like he's going to wrap all the way around to Highway, which could catch Draken off guard. The bomb is planted for Highway, but he doesn't go down there. He's staying on the bomb site. Switching over to an AK now. A little bit more viable in these close range angles. This becomes quite difficult for Logan. He has so many angles to check. No information on where Draken is. Hoping that he's towards the van. Wasting a lot of time here. And as he will see no reward, he now has to go in very aggressive. Draken will hear the footsteps and now has a pretty big upper hand.
I feel like at this point, Logan probably should just be contemplating saving. Doesn't have a kit now. By the time he even taps the bomb there, he would have had to have actually stuck, and I don't even think he would have had time. So, a little bit unfortunate. Gets the kill in the end, though, and a nice little upgrade to the op. They will definitely enjoy that. If they want to go for the double op setup again, they don't have to invest quite as much. You'd imagine Logan probably drop that over to Twanu and buy one up for himself. So, this should be the buy from Ldlc. Good round, as we said. Their main goal really in that previous round was just the damage. And the fact that they take down all 5 players, you can see how much reinvestment has to actually come true for Uruguay. And suddenly they're actually put in a position where if they lose the 1 round, they likely will be just put down onto an eco. Maybe if they wanted, they could force out with a couple of rifles. But all things considered, with how strong their economy was looking just a couple of rounds back, I'd say Ldlc definitely happy with how that previous one went. But it looks like we might see a change in pace now. I don't think we've seen them go quite as quick on this mid control. And Ldlc have actually just completely given it up. Hampus, I don't believe, even needed a flash towards Highway. Just immediately eliminates Twanu and follows it up on towards Devuduvek, rather, who takes a little bit of a wide swing.
Yeah, see, Ldlc went for the aggressive play as well. Sadly, it was towards A main where they stacked up with 3 players on that A bomb site. Nobody really controlling middle or nobody supporting middle, rather, when Twanu went down. There was nothing that could really be done. Now they're in this really awkward position where they have to stick to a 1-2. The one player being on the A bomb side, that's XMS with an AWP, looking to find anything, any form of information with the AWP. He doesn't, and so he's going to slowly rotate to truck and play this passive, with Logan rotating in to watch Z and make sure he doesn't get flanked. This is such a weak position for them. They have to find kills on the openings. Madhead manages one with the aggressive sunroom control, but now he's completely locked out of the bomb site. The pressure is on Logan, who finds one, swinging out for more on that op. Does a lot of damage. HS on 16 HP. This is now winnable for Ldlc on this retake. If they can find that kill onto HS early on, it'll be looking very nice indeed.
Oh, Matten is just cleaning up right now, and they actually had 3 Molotovs left, so they've just completely carpeted that bomb site. It's making it so difficult for Grux, and he can't escape the flames. He is actually going to burn alive. An easy round coming in. A nice little retake there. It was looking awkward, but that kind of aggressive position from Maten just gave Uruguay so much to worry about, especially as they were coming in through the vents, because they had to be cautious of B main. They had to pretty much just put all of their presence on the bomb site, which of course is never ideal, because then you're just pinned in. And as we've seen, if the CTUs have utility, it's very difficult for you to hold it down. Good round. And although with the bomb plant coming through, as I said before, Uruguay didn't have a great economy to actually get the reinvestment, but with the bomb plant coming through, they're able to actually pull out an op on Draken, get a couple of AKs and a Galil. So it's definitely decent enough, and they do have the opportunity here, of course, to try and come in with a reset of their own.
Oh, I gotta say, Ldlc coming in with this double op setup, you've got to see a lot of impact from it. If they're not winning these rounds with that kind of investment, it really limits your ability to make it through the rest of the rounds. And right now, again, we're seeing a risky position develop. Like you said, Dean, they could be reset here. Madhand, we talked about this man a little bit earlier on. He goes through with a quick double. Logan's easily finding one kill there, with very little by the way of support. Draken's going to have to try to pull this off with the AWP, find some picks. HS is stuck towards the checker. He's actually walking out of checkers. Uncontested. They are watching the... No, they're not watching the cross. There's a smoke down. Well, Logan doesn't know that HS can be up close. This is very awkward, just hiding inside the smoke. He's going to go for this pick. He finds it. Bomb site control is in the hands of Uruguay. How's he managed to find 2 kills off the back of that? They're completely locked out in CT. The bomb still has to cross, though. And now he's all alone. 1 versus 2 with an op. So he won't really be able to capitalize on the low HP of Ldlc unless he decides to pick up one of the rifles below his feet.
Oh. XMS is just hiding, though, so this gives a good chance for Draken to at least try and find that bomb plant. And, of course, with the rotation having come in from Ldlc, he's not really anywhere nearby right now. XMS going to begin to push forward. I believe did just about spot the shoulder, and, of course, would have known he was towards that default position due to the bomb being planted. So an easy kill comes in. Draken being a little bit more cautious of Heaven, as you could see. Rightly so, but it was XMS who emerged first. There we go. An easy defuse comes in. Ldlc actually going ahead and reclaiming that lead. And even with the bomb plant coming in now, you will have to see Uruguay just going ahead and taking some pistols into this round. Doing a good job still, of course, of keeping that economy modest for Ldlc, bringing it down to just 2 alive in that round. But this is the chance here for Ldlc. If they really want to be able to keep bringing out this double up setup consistently, they need to be taking these rounds as convincingly as possible.
Well, with 5-4 on the board, it's not really a bad position for either team. The only thing is, of course, Uruguay working from behind here with just the pistols in play. Like you said, they need to keep the economy modest of Ldlc. So we are looking for about 2 to 3 kills here. And look at how low the money is already. That reinvestment would almost cripple Ldlc then for the next round. Oh, Draken doesn't find that kill with the Deagle or the second, and is eventually just going to be eliminated without a whole lot more to be said for him. This is a pretty clean round from Ldlc, only losing the 1 player so far. It's only a CZ up close they've got to worry about. They don't have to worry anymore as Ldlc picks up a couple of kills in that round, puts it 6-4, and Uruguay now on the full buy. Without the bomb plant, they're not going to pull out an AWP. They're lacking utility, that's for sure. Full smokes, a couple of flashbangs, but not a whole lot else to be found over on that in the pockets of the T side, or on the belt, I suppose.
Yeah, I'm expecting Uruguay to just go quick on mid here again. This has been something that has worked very well for them, with how kind of passive Ldlc have been playing. And I feel like Ldlc have actually now noticed this. They've said, okay, guys, every time that we've started picking up some rounds, they've noticed that we haven't really been playing mid. They've been exploiting this weakness. Let's go ahead and put a little bit more presence towards it. And you can see they do actually just for now kind of leave Twanu alone on highway. So that could be a little bit dangerous. The control towards boost has been found. But at least for now, Uruguay yet to push forward. But there you go. Draken just quickly peeks out and drops Twanu. A kill towards checkers as well from Hampus gives them the opportunity now for a really quick B split. Well, Logan now having a lot of pressure on his shoulders to actually try and hold it from the back of that bomb site. Still alive for now, yet to actually be spotted, and Ldlc rotating in does find one, but it's not going to be enough. Another quick headshot comes in from safe, and suddenly XMS in the 1v4. He is in heaven. The scope of the AUG may have been heard, but there's not really much he can do about actually stopping that bomb plant. And when you look at the economy of Ldlc, he should probably just be backing off and saving, but it doesn't matter because Hampus is behind.
That comes up and just eliminates him before the word save can even cross his mind. I think he was just hoping that maybe the bomb planter would be crossing, you know, coming up through headshot. When he tries to jump to the side, he could find the kill, but once he hears that bomb plant sound, you can see he kind of start to move away from the position. I think that's when he realized, oh yeah, I should probably save this. I can't win Too late though, Hampus is right behind you. Uruguay doing so well here in the opening duels, especially up against these Oppers. So frequently we're seeing the Oppers losing out those opening fights to AKs without even utility backing them up. It's just straight up swinging and taking angles. That's a yikes, but Wanu eventually finds the kill and puts us into a 4 versus 3. Even with pistols in play, Ldlc will be able to use this man advantage pretty well. You see the smoke's already down the A bomb site. This is closing. Okay, Grux. This is closing in the distance and allowing those pistols to be a little bit more impactful when Uruguay eventually push towards the bomb site. The rotation's coming in towards A as they have the information that the push is coming down, but again, the smoke's just locking them out. They're isolating these players one by one, taking the fight, swinging on them, always seeming to find themselves with 2 players looking at only 1. Doesn't happen this time, and Logan misses the op shot. That could have been the round for Ldlc. It could have been Uruguay behind on economy, but not anymore. Lots of money floating around on that T side with a 6-6 tied scoreline. Ldlc are looking a little bit worse for wear now.
Yeah, that's the double up setup. It kind of just ruins their economy if they aren't able to get those rounds out consistently and keep all the players alive. They don't really get much of a chance to actually build up money. A couple of credit pistols and, interestingly enough, a Zeus for Logan. I was going to say, where would he be putting that towards? Normally under the vent, maybe a decent position, but he's just going to stick up close on B main. Waiting to see if anyone's going to really come in his direction. The only real aspect, the positive, I guess, of actually pulling out the Zeus is the fact that it can kind of steal you away a weapon. But then the problem is, of course, if there's someone nearby to trade, you're likely dead very, very quickly.
Well, the question is here, for Ldlc, what amount of rounds are they happy with realistically? On their CT side, they generally do pretty well here on cash. And this round, they're probably not going to see a whole lot of reward. Wanu picks up 1 with the CZ, the other upgraded pistol being Ldlc coming in. Of course, Logan's still on that bomb site with the taser. Actually finds one, picks up an AK. Hold on a second. This round is swinging back in their favor. Ldlc is going to be taken down after only 1 kill with the Deagle, but that might be enough. Logan has the headshot angle now, taking away the lack of armor pretty much. And if he can win this aim duel, he's up against an op, so in a very nice position to actually find this round. Ldlc could be on the road to recovery for sure. Oh, peeks up, almost gets taken out by the op, creeping over towards the bomb site, now behind default. 35 seconds, plenty of time for Draken. 6 bullets in the mag. Logan should be contemplating a reload here. He knows he's up against an op, though. He only needs 1. Onto the head. Draken coming in for the peek, and he's going to be cut off. The kill goes to Logan, a 3-piece in the round, and that marks his 5th round where he's found more than 2 kills. You can see 15 for 7. What a performance and what a round to win, because I was thinking that round was going to shape it up for Uruguay winning out the half, probably being an 8-7, maybe even a 9-6, but that's no longer possible as Ldlc somehow pull off a round where they've invested practically nothing, and the round after, in stark contrast, double op setup returns.
Yeah, brought straight back out, and it's been very back and forward. Every time we see one team beginning to kind of find some control, a play like that comes out. I said it was going to be difficult for Logan to find more than just the one that he'd likely get traded. He, of course, proved me very, very wrong and has managed to regain some control here for Ldlc. Right now, though, Uruguay, I was going to say just a bit of a default. They have kind of gone for that left, someone towards the kind of B extremity of the map to make sure that no one gets aggressive. But as you can see, an area that they have been working these picks on quite actively is that A bomb site in Grux. We've seen him do it with the AK. We've seen him just walk out and find the picks. But this time with the scout, a quick headshot comes in as the first blood is going to be shed in favor of Uruguay.
Lots of control as well towards A, closing off the angles with the smokes again. We've seen this be successful for them time and time again. Ldlc doing his best to make sure that things don't go towards that T side. Mathend even manages to find one with the Molotov. Ldlc's damage. The scout getting work done from Grux. Hampus coming up behind. Quick deagle shot puts them into a man advantage on the back of Safe, grading out his teammate Grux. And that player is Logan, the last alive for Ldlc. Coming in through middle. The plant is going down on default, so there's not a whole lot that he can do. They're watching for him coming out of B. Hampus has picked up an AWP on truck and is watching that angle. While Safe, with 4 HP, is actually going to peek highway. Not a good decision, and one he gets punished for. But Hampus in a very nice spot to find this frag. He knows exactly where Logan is. There you go. There's not a whole lot that you can expect from so many angles to clear, and the chances that he checks truck, sadly, not working out in his favor. That's a pretty stark hit to the economy as well. LDLC coming into the final round, obviously they have to go for the force buy. So they come out with 3 Deagles. I mean, that said, they've had some serious impact in these rounds. We saw it was a CZ, a Taser, and a Deagle was all that was needed to win the previous. And now with a Scout as well, I mean, that can dish out some serious damage and allow the Deagles to get one-shot body shots. So this isn't necessarily an easy round for Uruguay.
The second you said that, of course, is when he does connect the first shot, follows it up eventually onto Grux, who surprisingly tries to continue taking that fight against the Scout while on low health. It's a bit of an interesting choice. But let's see, because Uruguay, they have been pretty slow on these pushes into bomb sites. The problem with that is it does give time for these rotations. And as you can see, that's them working out for the CT side. Only that 1 kill from Hampus to actually find that the player pushing in through vents, but afterwards we've seen a kind of flurry of frags going over towards Ldlc. And again, it's the team with the weaker buy that comes into a heavily favorable position. It leaves only Draken. He's pushing forward as he comes through headshot. It looks like Matent is actually spotting this. Doesn't matter though, the Tech 9 a little bit too quick on the kill. And at this point, I feel like they probably will be willing to just give that bomb plant up. Make sure they play this together in 2v1. They know he's going to be towards the bomb site since they have a player coming from B main and one from CT. And as long as they push together up against that upper, they should have a good chance of at least picking up that 1-for-1 trade.
It's a very difficult spot to work from. If that op can just pick up 1 frag, all of a sudden the chance of winning this round decrease, but they're closing the distance now, able to swing on him. Evojubek finds the angle with the assistance of Twanu on the distraction, and that is it. 8-7. Ldlc come out on top, which I don't think is a terrible position from them. I think one of the struggling factors for Uruguay in general here on Cash over the last kind of month or so, it has been the CT side where they do fall back a little bit, and we see their impact start to dissipate ever so slightly. Ldlc, on the other hand, pretty well rounded on the T side. I think now they've set themselves up for a pretty decent attempt, anyways, to close this out. I don't think it's massively favored towards either team, but just looking at the form there in that half, I think Ldlc are going to be happy with their position and feel like they're definitely the favorites.
Yeah, would it have been a map that's not really heavily favored towards either side? I'd say both teams, though, can be pretty happy with how that went. It was very back and forth. Neither team never really got solid control. The economy was always kind of an issue. And I feel like coming into this half now, we could definitely see a kind of a similar trend, rather. We know Ldlc, pretty solid T-sided team as well, although I'd say they are a little bit more tactical of an approach than what we've seen from Uruguay. So let's see how they can actually handle this one. Quick B play. I said more tactical. That's not really the case on the pistol. Sometimes keeping it simple rather can actually pay off a little bit better. Getting up close with those Glocks and also this P250. But the problem is, Safe is still alive in the back of the bomb site, and he actually finds a triple kill before eventually falling. And done enough to allow for Draken to just peek in from heaven and find the final. 8-8. Scoreline again being equalized. It's just been back and forth continuously throughout this entire matchup so far, rather. And it looks like Ldlc, although they are willing to take that eco, they do at least upgrade some pistols. Meaning, of course, they get 2400 straight into this next round, so they will get a buy. But again, with the amount being invested, it does kind of make it a little bit of a weaker investment. You see XMS on 1350. He's going to have enough for the AK pretty much and no utility to back it up. So it's not ideal. I think best case scenario here is they want to find at least a couple of kills to build up some bank.
I think one of the problems there was that the Heaven player was creating so much space for Safe, allowing him to just swing out and only ever really find one player looking at him at a time. With a USP on a little bit of range, puts you in a pretty advantageous position. Ldlc didn't go in for the force buy here, which I like to see, saving up their money for the next round so they can get out a better buy than the CTs will actually have. You see already with 1 pick on the board, if they can even just find 1 more with a Deagle in play, that's certainly not implausible. Well, we will see a very weak buy from Uruguay coming into the next round. Let's see if they can manage it though. Playing it slow, certainly the intent here is to have further impact. Whether it be just the 1 kill would be, I think, perfectly sufficient. A bomb plant as well would be huge, and they're angling themselves towards the A bomb site where both of those things are possible one after another. If they can take Grux down, they have freedom to cross to the A bomb site if they do it quickly enough before Draken can reposition. But will they check it? That's the question. Up on Shroud, he finds one, spots the feet of the other rotations coming in. Sadly, it remains a dream to find a kill on a bomb plant, but even still, now look at their money. Taking out the AK-47s, and Uruguay are sitting on 1 SMG on Hampus wonder what Safe's going to do here. They could drop over a FAMAS to him. Hampus could drop that over. Or he could take an SMG of his own. There it is. A FAMAS dropped over, indeed, is going to be the strategy. That's what I like to see. The other option was for Safe to either take a pistol, which would be unlikely, or indeed an SMG, which isn't really favorable considering you know you're more than likely up against a couple of AKs.
Yeah, I don't think they'll be expecting this exact buy. You can see LDLC really prioritize that utility. They've gone for a lot of weaker weapons, but they're going to go for a very quick play, which may catch Uruguay off guard. Davidovec with the initial frag. Maten follows it up with one on the HS. And suddenly it is a very favorable position here. This gets one, but he's kind of just sandwiched in. Never mind, again, Draken. He's been the player that's always there to cover his teammates when it's needed. The problem is now dropping out events. Only really one position that LDLC have to focus on, and they find all of the frags very, very quickly. Going to be 9-9. LDLC do pick up that first gun round. And of course, looking at the economy of Uruguay, it's not terrible. They will have to go ahead and just take the 1 eco most likely before they can get the buyout. But of course, that should allow for LDLC to actually take the lead and claim double digits. And I like to see that from LDLC. A lot of the time, you'll just see the first, into that first gun round rather for teams. You see them just go for the rifles, get maybe a smoke on every player or a smoke and a flash maybe if they're lucky to have gotten a couple kills in the previous round. But no, LDLC, they prioritized, made sure they had the utility for those set plays, and just allowed for the SMGs to kind of lead the way and have the rifles in the back to make sure they could at least trade.
Yeah, I was a little bit surprised as well when I glanced over and saw that they had a Tech 9. Even just the Tech 9 on its own is a perplexing buy. Most players prefer the CZ in this day and age, but hey, it worked. Can't question it. Can't say all too much negative about it. Uruguay going in for an interesting by themselves. They take out 1 AWP, with the rest of the players on just USPs. And of course, Grux with a deagle. Hampus' glass cannon here, though. And in a position where he can have some pretty good impact, but with that smoke down on the cross, I think almost immediately you've got to be thinking about a save if your pistols don't find the damage early on. They still have B control, so they know it's safe to save there. How have they found 2 kills up close?
It wasn't even particularly from close. Draken was able to find one, I believe, from back at connector. So suddenly a 3v3. They've also retrieved an AK. This could get a lot more costly for LDLC, but they are still definitely favored in this after plant right now. Again, no defuse kit, of course, for Uruguay. And I feel like now that it's down into this 2v3, contemplating saving those 2 weapons definitely could be worthwhile, especially the op. But it's not going to happen. XMS runs in and cleans up. He should get an upgrade onto the op if he wants to do so. And yeah, he does indeed, as does Twanu, go ahead and take an AUG into his hands. So a decent enough round from LDLC, keeping 3 players alive. They can be happy with that. But I feel like Uruguay also, they should be relatively happy with the damage that they got done. They know that they haven't allowed for the LDLC economy to get out of hand at this point. Although it is somewhat decent, they are, of course, now going to be coming onto a buy themselves. But a little bit limited for Uruguay. The MP9 maybe not even being the biggest issue. It's more so the fact that they have barely any utility, and they also do not have a defuse kit.
See, in that previous round, they definitely hung around a little bit too long when it was into the 2v3. They could have just backed off, saved an AK and an AWP, but now they're working with an SMG, rifles, and an AWP as well. Draken on the AWP again. He certainly is a ranged player, as we saw from the previous round with the USP. Already the opening pick goes down in his favor, pushing LDLC into a bit of a faster play, I suppose. They have to pick up the bomb now, start to angle themselves towards a bomb site. They can't really afford to try and take more aim jewels to open things up, because if they lose that, well, then they're in an even less recoverable position. Pushing the player out of vents there with the Molotov. Smoke towards highway as well. This indicates certainly that mid-control is in the possession of the T side. What they don't know, though, is where they're actually going to be angling things.
Oh, nice shot by Draken. Grux actually being boosted up in the vents as well. Oh, there should be another from Draken. Yeah, catches the creep up from Logan. I'm not even sure if he actually knew there was anyone close, but definitely predicted it and managed to hold it down. Twanu finds one on a Hampus who gets a little bit too adventurous over towards B, I would say. That peak definitely wasn't needed, but it shouldn't really cost him too much, of course, with Twanu now being the only man that's left standing. He is still kind of just hanging back. He has decent money, but it could definitely be worthwhile for him specifically to save, just so he can drop an AK over to Logan in the next round. The chances, of course, with 16 seconds on the clock of being able to actually retrieve that bomb and win this round, pretty much 0. So he does just begin to back off, and at this point, Uruguay, I don't think they're going to bother actually trying to hunt it down. They will allow likely for Twanu to save that up with ease, and that means LDLC into the next round will be able to get another buy for themselves. But Uruguay, this was a big round, able to keep 4 players alive. That means they can drop over to 1 weapon to Hampus. They can go ahead and actually stockpile up some utility. And this is where they really have a chance to try and get their feet solidly on the ground here on the CT side.
And that can be one of the real challenges for your CT side, especially on a map like Cache, where you can find yourself going back and forth so frequently. If you lose control of your economy or just fail to claim it in the first place, it becomes so difficult to really get any consistent numbers up on the CT side in consecutive rounds as well. As we look into this, though, this is a really important round for Uruguay. If they win this, especially with 4 or 5 players left alive, they've a solid economy built up. Ldlc will have no money, so again, that's going to be probably a 12-10 scoreline where they've actually got a backup if they lose a round, whereas Ldlc would face again over into a pretty poor buy, certainly lacking utility if they lose thereafter. Ldlc are focusing towards the B bomb side. Already a player pushed out. He gets taken down. Hampus had already claimed a kill towards Sunroom as well. Oh no, look at Grux. He is so sneaky. He was up over towards Shroud. They walked right past him, comes out, finds a second kill. And the bomb control with Twanu coming in to try and take him out on the AWP. He can't even hit that shot because Grux was already scoped in, ready to take him down. Finds the headshot and pushes us 11-10 as the CT side survive with plenty of money left over now. This is looking scary for Ldlc. Uruguay coming into this as the favorites overall as well, according to the odds anyways. It's certainly starting to look like they could be on the home stretch pretty soon.
Yeah, I'm not sure if I'd really agree with the odds of Uruguay being the favorites. I'd say it's a pretty equal game overall. Ldlc, of course, having some changes themselves recently enough, so both teams, in terms of this 5-man lineup that they have, are relatively new. Well, let's see, because these pistols definitely have a chance to get damage done. What is that from Logan? Somehow transfers over to find the second. That claims control of the B bomb site, and also gives them a couple of weapons that they can actually use to try and close this round out. Taking a while, of course, for that bomb to be retrieved, but if they can just hold down B, wait and see if maybe someone perhaps overextends in towards B, then that definitely could get dangerous. But Ldlc, he's still over towards the door. He hasn't bothered to rotate. His goal likely being to try and cut off the rotations themselves. Although the bomb, with that going towards A, this is a little bit strange, because on B, Logan taking a bit of a peek, gives a pick back to Draken, and suddenly it's a 3v3 as they are looking to try and push Grux down, but he has that AK, and he still has the A-bomb site under his control as he shuts it down on his own. Only Matt End remains, 40 seconds. Still definitely a chance for him to maybe find another killer too, but it's not going to be easy. Although he does pick up an AK, so maybe he can get something done here. The op is watching, and sadly he's not going to be able to get that shot off in time. Draken shuts him down, 12-10, as Uruguay begin to build up a little bit of a lead here on the CT side.
Indeed, 12-10 is a decent spot to be in for Uruguay, facing off against a full buy of Ldlc with full utility as well. Let's see where they angle things towards. With full AKs in play, it does look to be an A hit early on. Bomb rotating over there, setting up for smokes outside as well. This could be a very fast strategy indeed. Molotov goes down to stop them from really pushing through on the CT side and getting any aggressive control, while they still have a lot of players outside of A main. That's very risky. Ldlc, he's going to be Molotov'd, and again, that's a little bit of utility baited out on the CT side. Here come the smokes over. They know there's a Molotov left, but hold on, Grux is coming in. He's going straight in towards Squeaky and actually finds the bomb. This is a little bit awkward as we're into a 5 versus 2. Ldlc now have no control over the bomb. They're coming up highway. They looking to claim that A-bomb site control, and eventually they eliminate Grux and Squeaky, opening up the possibilities if they can eliminate Hampus. But that man is not going down without a fight. Oh, they're not looking at him on the bomb side either. USP deployed, a little bit too greedy, not going to find that kill. But luckily Draken's there with the AWP to close it out, 13-10. The faster play from Ldlc. There's something we said earlier on that they kind of slow down a little bit, allowing the rotations to come in. But it wasn't even that. It just allowed Uruguay to kind of feel out what they were going for. And eventually you saw that aggression coming in towards Squeaky, which ultimately just slowed Ldlc down a little bit too much and cut off their approach angles as well. As they couldn't really go out of main, they had no support from Squeaky, and the highway players weren't in position yet. Overall, unfortunate timing for them.
Yeah, the second half of this matchup so far has been so kind of hectic. When those pushes come in, it seems like everything's kind of all over the place. LDLC have been a little bit slow on those pushes. They've been disjointed in positions where they can't really trade off of each other. Even when we just seen the bomb going alone towards door, that's probably not the greatest idea. But you do kind of have to give props to the likes of Grux, who has been having a spectacular game so far. Although he does of course sit at the top of the scoreboard in terms of the frags. It's just the raw amount of impact he's had. Those frags, almost every single one of them, have just been so important. And that puts them in this position where they do currently lead 13-10 and should be able to find another round. Of course, only up against the Pistols in this one. Although LDLC, it seems like they definitely do have a plan in the back pocket right now, rather. As you can see, Execute being prepared straight towards that A-bomb site. And they are actually able to catch a couple players off guard. I was going to say just Grux taken down immediately, but a kill from XMS also brings it into a great position, rather. Oh, boosted on the AUG. Logan gets the dink. Not the frag, but either way, in this 4v3 with two players very low for Uruguay, I don't know if they really want to bother going for this retake, but here's Matend. He's just coming in from behind. P250's all that he actually needs. And he's just shutting this one down. It's all onto Draken. He's trapped in connector pretty much at this point as they also encircle in behind. And there's just not much that he can do about it. LDLC find a round where they really should have had no right doing so. They only had the pistols. I think their main goal there really was just that bomb plant. That's why they bought all the smokes, to make sure that they can actually try and get that down.
Well, look, 13-11, this presents an opportunity for Uruguay right now. They've got the full buy, they've got the double op setup that we saw LDLC try time and time again to make it work early on in the first half, and ultimately it ended up costing them more than it paid off. As they go for the aggression towards the B-bomb side, LDLC are going to be walking into an AUG up very close, all by himself. No support in place. Safe hasn't got any utility ready to deploy. Puts him in an awkward spot. HS has to flash himself out of there, and it doesn't look like it's going to be working all too successfully. As he gets eliminated, the trades go through, and now the push will very quickly ensue towards that B-bomb site. We've seen the rotation come in from Hampus. He has got the AWP. Safe is being undetected as of yet towards Checkers. Manages to find one. They now know he's there, but they have to redivert their attention towards that angle.
Yeah, he's just been a nuisance. Even if he didn't get that one kill and just kind of stayed alive for a while, it would have been great for the retake, but now he's actually just going to be pushed down. A nice flash goes in. Devaduvek is going to get that one, but of course, Grux the entire time was waiting in the vent for them to try and push his teammate down. He was ready to at least confirm a trade. And now a 3-on-2. One player in B main, a perfect flash comes in. They spot the final player on default as the flames go down. He has very little hope. And there it is. A quick reset comes in from Uruguay. Hampus needs to be careful. Doesn't want to burn alive. He actually doesn't have a kit. He should just be able to actually find this, I believe. Smoke put down just in time. So needed to go straight onto it. The Molotov almost actually stopping them. But it's okay. They find the 14th round. LDLC, they can still get a buy because, of course, that previous round that they won, they hadn't invested very much into, so they were able to get a lot of the weapons for free without having to actually buy them up themselves. So they come into this with a pretty solid buy, but this may be their last full investment. If they can't make this work, the next round they would be down onto very weak weaponry. And, of course, at that point, Uruguay would be already sitting on map point.
This is a pivotal one now for LDLC. Like you said, this could be map point facing a force buy for Uruguay if they manage to win this round. 2 AWPs in play, 3 AUGs. So close to victory on the home stretch for sure. And just one more stride to take us home. LDLC very spread out. They do manage to claim a little bit of middle control. Very passively though. Logan's walking down. They don't really have any support for him just yet. So he tucks in towards the white boxes. They eventually rotate in to help him out. And here we go with the mid-control coming in through vents. It's going to be a B-split. Only one player there to hold this down. This is very awkward for Safe. If he can't find more than one kill or at least delay them, he could be in a lot of trouble. Molotov towards headshot. Now he only has one angle to worry about. It's Hampus. Covers the cross. No smokes going down for LDLC. Already used up the majority of their utility. It's only that one flashbang that's left. It might be enough. Trades go in, 3 versus 3. Bomb dropped in the open. HS goes down. Draken's got an op. He's got one, looking for more. They're up on the bomb site. He doesn't even see him. Pre-fires through the wall and takes down Twanu. It's all onto Devaduvek. He's alone. Got the bomb.
Oh, we
stuck
heard
in
that.
CT.
Flames gave it away for Devaduvek. That's really unfortunate because he couldn't even go back through because of the flames. I was going to say Grux will just try and hold the push back, but it doesn't matter. Devaduvek a little bit too quick on the AK. Picks up a headshot, knows, of course, where Draken is now. 14 seconds to work with, probably just going to have to go ahead and stick the bomb plant this time around, and Draken knows that he's pushing forward, gets up very close, but he only legs him! What is that from Ldlc? Somehow wins out the 1v2, and I believe Draken, he must have hit him through the corner of the sight box right there, because only bringing him down to, I believe it was 9 health. A little bit unfortunate, but that's the lifeline that Ldlc really needed now in this matchup.
That was beautiful. Like, it's such a solid attempt, and they just have it taken away by 9 HP. Oof.
Not gonna lie to you, Mitch, I thought it was all over when they knew he was in CT because of the molly burn on him. I honestly thought that was going to be pretty much an easy frag for Grux. He's been playing so amazing, but Ldlc there was just so quick with that headshot, he had no chance.
He just swung out. I mean, he was already pre-aiming it as well. Had the idea that the other player would be coming in because there was no aggression in CT. It's unlikely 2 players had stacked towards heaven, so he had that information in his head. And by God, it paid off. Good read. And now 14 to 12, Ldlc have got the opportunity to fight for a little bit more. Oh God, Ldlc's going to be taken down by Grux, getting his revenge at last with a deagle. A USP on Draken takes down Logan. That's 2 weapons potentially be picked up. And indeed, could be picked up. The SG and the AK-47 in the hands of Uruguay. Although they lose 1 player, still maintaining a man advantage. With those 2 rifles now, things get very scary for Ldlc. Pushing out towards the A-bomb site, safe! Looks away at the wrong moment, checks Squeaky. There was nobody there. Kills still going down, though. HS and Grux closing this round out as XMS has got to pull off another 1v2. With an AK-47 in his hands, the A-bomb site a lot more open, though. So a lot more constricting in terms of what you're able to do in this 1v2 situation. Grux baiting out, trying to keep him a little bit distracted. 20 seconds, all the pressures on XMS, and he's not able to find anything. On 15 to 12, it is match point for Uruguay. And Dean, this is even worse than if Ldlc had lost the round before that, because now, not only are they on match point or facing against match point, but they've been reset.
It just be like that sometimes, Mitch.
It's just be like
horrible. It's a horrible way to get your economy reset and likely lose the game, because if you lose up against pretty much a full eco, the kill being dropped, I think it was Grux, was it, in towards connector that got it with the USP and was able to steal away, or maybe it was it may have been Draken. It was those 2. Yeah, it was those 2 that opened up. By the way, I couldn't remember what positions they were in, but this is looking like it's finally going to be the end of it. This time around, the pistols not really finding anything for Ldlc. Very quickly being brought into a 5 versus 3. A 1-for-1 trade not really going to help them too much in this position, considering they are still just facing those weapons. And that's going to be it. It is going to be the win coming in for Uruguay. They take it 16 to 12, if I remember correctly. Already bad memory. But yeah, an impressive showing overall, you do have to say. Ldlc, they had their moments as well. It definitely seemed like they had kind of the better team coordination. But once they swapped to that CT side, we've seen it just really being a shutdown there from Uruguay.
Yeah, for sure. Look, that was a fantastic performance from Uruguay overall coming into that 16 to 12. Massive step-ups by some of the players. I mean, you mentioned in that previous round there, it was Grux and Draken with the pistols, Draken with the USP and connector, and Grux on a deagle managed to find the opening over onto Ldlc, who had robbed him of a 15-round kill on the previous over towards the B-bomb site. Those 2 players were also the more impactful, I suppose, across the whole series for Uruguay. 180 or plus on both of them, and a phenomenal amount of 2+K rounds. Sadly, we're not going to see Ldlc winning out the matchup, even though they managed to pull it back a little bit towards the end, just being reset there at the end. You can't expect too much from them in that position with just a couple of deagles.
It was very difficult. They looked overall pretty good when they were on the pistols that round. Just weren't able to get it done. But of course, that is the end of the first matchup for tonight. We do have another one coming up pretty soon. It is going to be Movistar Riders up against X-Fragsters. And I think that's one that could also be very, very interesting. But of course, guys, we are going to go ahead and send it on over to a bit of a break. So make sure you stick around. And when we return, we will, of course, have that matchup as said.